Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 9 of my 25 days of Christmas. Today's video we're going to be creating some table decorations using this star topped gift box and also this Paper Boutique Once Upon a Christmas. I got this a couple years ago, so if I can find it I will link it in the description box down below for you. But I'm going to be creating 4 boxes just to pop onto our table as part of our table decorations for Christmas Day. And in this particular die set, you get lots of dies in here. You get the base and the lid, but then you do get lots of decorations. We're going to be using the tag in this video. You've got extra pieces you can die cut from the sides that you can put along the top of the lid. So yeah, lots of extra pieces to be able to decorate it. But I'm just going to be using these papers because I do still have quite a lot of this kit left, and I'm trying to kind of use everything Christmassy this year. And I wanted to really kind of make the most out of this. So for the bases, I'm using 4 different colours of the coloured cardstock that came with the kit. And to create each box, you need to die cut the base just once. The boxes aren't huge. If I just measure them now, they're about 2¼ inches by about 1¾ inches high. So they're not big, but you know they are a really great size to put on the table. Maybe just to put like a little sweet in there or something. Yeah, just something to decorate the table with nicely. So I'm using my large A4 cutting plates for this because I didn't want to cut down. Normally I will cut down my cardstock and put it through the die cut machine then, but I decided just to die cut and keep the sheet as an A4 piece this time. So now I've got all 4 of my bases. I have picked 4 of the patterned papers. Now what I did want to do was have the base from the patterned paper because you'd be able to see more of it, but this particular die wouldn't die cut on an 8x8 sheet. I think you literally need like an 8¼ inch sheet for the base to be able to die cut that tab as well to close it. So that's why I ended up using the plain for the base and then the patterned paper for these lids. So with the way that I die cut these, because you need to die cut 2 of these sort of funny triangle pieces to create one lid. I wanted to try and get them in the same place. So think about that. Depending on the kind of paper you've got, you can see these papers I'm using here are quite repeat, and I'm kind of looking at where it's going to be die cutting. So the band at the bottom of this die, which is going to be the side of the lid, I'm trying to line that up with kind of the stag or the deers on this one. On the fox paper, I line that up with the foxes as well because I kind of want that to be the part that you see, because the top of this creates that star top pattern. You don't really, you still see it, but yeah, you kind of lose some of that design. So if you are using patterned papers like this, just think about how you are going to die cut it, what you want to see. So you can see this bottom piece just then, like I said, that was just the foxes, and I've got a nice band then of the foxes all around the edge of this particular lid, and then the top part of it has got then all of that kind of festive foliage. So just take a moment. You can see I'm just kind of working out where I want to die cut it. Potentially, you know, this could be sort of a little bit wasteful maybe, but at the end of the day I want the pattern to kind of be the same, since we have to die cut 2 of these, but then I also want it to look, you know, really decorative. With this particular one here, because I couldn't fit the stag or the rabbit on there, I mainly just focused on that floral section. But you'll see with this one, I used the bottom portion, then I turned this piece of patterned paper around and then die cut it from the top. It doesn't have to be exactly the same with a particular design, you know, like that. So again, 1 for the base, 1 pass for the base, and then 2 passes to make the lid. So this is all my die cutting that is done. We can go ahead and start putting this box together. So you have all of these score lines. Now this is a relatively thin paper. I can't remember 100% what the GSM of this is. With the scoring, you do get a tiny bit of cracking with this cardstock, and it's a little bit more noticeable because it is not a solid core cardstock, it's a white core. And so just be careful with that if you are using papers like this. You know, usually using something a little bit heavier. If you want it to last a little bit longer, then definitely use something a little heavier, I would say. But then you do you know, get that nice kind of finish with the white inside. So it really depends what you're kind of going for. So literally all I'm doing is bending all of the score marks. So you can see this hexagon piece is going to be at the bottom, and you've got the tabs there, and I'm just using liquid glue here. Again, I'm not too worried about them lasting forever. If you want something that's going to last longer, then definitely use some double-sided tape or some red liner tape to hold this together. And this is the Nuvo Deluxe glue, and it worked perfectly well here. So you've seen I put the glue all on the tabs and then kind of fitted it all together. So I put the base around the edges first of all, and then the last piece I put down was the tab to hold the sides together. So they're super easy to put together. I want to say with all the die cutting as well, this probably took me maybe 30 to 45 minutes. It's really not very long. Maybe if you hosted and you want something extra, something like this is going to be great. And also you don't have to use a die for this. You know, you could certainly work out kind of the measurements and things to create something like this without a die. It would be really easy to do. But sometimes it's nice just to have a die to kind of do it all for you. So this is the last one to put together, and then you can see I'm just using my ruler there just to help press all of those folds down as well. And then we can get started on these lids. So again, this is a star top. So the two pieces you're going to put together, one of or both of them will have, because obviously it's the same die, you will have a tab on, you know, both sides. You use that, the first one to connect the two pieces together, and then the second one to bring it together completely. And then basically with the tops, you just sort of tuck them behind each other, and it creates this star top. So this isn't designed then to be undone. You can see it there. It's not designed to be undone. That's just how the top of it actually looks, and they're really, really pretty as well, I think. And I am going to add a little Nuvo drop to the center of these at the end. So now on to the next one. You can see I connected the two together, and now I'm creating that hexagon lid, just sort of holding that nice and tight. And yeah, hopefully you can see here just actually tuck in one behind the other. It took me a little while when I first got this die to really kind of nail getting those pieces to go behind each other, but once you kind of know exactly how much force to kind of use to put them together, it's super easy to do. I did also have to decide which bases I want to put with which lid. I didn't want the colours, so I didn't want to do like the grey top with the grey base, so I kind of mix and match them a little bit. And yeah, I think these are so pretty. You know, I could absolutely make more table decorations with these papers, because again, I do have quite a lot of this kit left over. I'm not sure that I'm going to. I think this might be it, because again, I mean, we are having quite a small Christmas. There is only going to be 4 of us actually having Christmas dinner here. But yeah, just a nice little addition that you can see here. So you can see a little bit of that packaging there. And what I wanted to do was create a little tag so everyone kind of knows where they're sitting. So this tag has a little stitch detailing around the edge, and this comes actually in the kit as well. And I'm just taking some of the scraps of the coloured card, and that's then going to match, the tag is going to match with that box base. And then I'm going to use this Hunkydory alphabet die. I think this is the Bold and Beautiful. Again, if I can find a link to that product, I'll pop it in the description box down below. And I'm going to die cut these letters from the patterns paper. And I tried to kind of get a little bit of that design in the letters. Obviously, it was a little bit more difficult just because of the size of it. But it was just to add a little bit more detail. And then the tag is going to match the base, and then the patterns paper is going to match the lid, so it does all kind of coordinate quite nicely together. But again, great way just to use up the smaller scraps like you can see I'm doing here, because we want to make the most of this kit. I'm just gonna die cut another green one. I don't know if you can see that one there. It just missed the bottom, and that's because I didn't use any tape to kind of hold it down. It obviously moved inside the folder when I was putting it through my mini die cutting machine. So then I'm just adding my letters onto. So this is just the initials of everybody's name. And yeah, I'm just going to glue this on. I'm using my reverse tweezers just to hold the letters because it just makes things a little bit easier. And I can work out then that perfect placement as well. And then I'm using this gold kind of twine here that I picked up from the Creative Craft World, who manufacture the Paper Boutique. They had this, I think it was like £1.25, something like that. And I'm going to use it on my tags this year. It's a really great little twine. And basically, I'm just putting it underneath that star. Then I'm going to thread through that tag then as well, and I'm just going to tie it in a simple bow on top. So as you guys have probably seen before, my bow tying skills aren't very good, certainly not on camera, but again, these don't necessarily have to be perfect. I can just cut the ends off. It's literally just to hold that tag on there and just to add a little bit of gold. Because like I said, I'm going to add a Nuvo drop just to the center of the star on the top. I thought it just needed something just to tie in that gold, so I used, I think it was the bright gold that I used for that, and just literally did a sort of a big blob on there. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in these yet to go on the table, but I'm super happy with how these have turned out. So that's basically going to be it for video number 9 of my 25 days of Christmas. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. I've really enjoyed creating all of these Christmas videos and really kind of going for it this year. So yeah, that is number 9. So don't forget to join me for tomorrow for day number 10 of my 25 days of Christmas. So thanks very much for watching, and Merry Christmas.